Hi, I'm making this video because I just came back from the movie theaters and I saw that movie, Safe Room with Denzel Washington and that other guy. It was a pretty good movie. But I wanted to comment on the trailers. I just want to say that the movies that come out these days aren't that great. I think they kind of suck. They have no real meaning to them. They have no real substance. It's all just mindless entertainment. I want to comment on one of the trailers I saw was of a horror film. Some movie about some girl getting trapped in a house with her father, and like the movie's really just like an hour of seeing a girl get tortured and like just horrible things, just horrible stuff. And it's like, what's the purpose of a film like that? What is that supposed to do for your body? What is that supposed to do for your mind? What is that supposed to do for your soul, your spirit? You're a person, you know, you're not just a collection of cells, and you know, you have a spirit inside, you have a soul, you have something of meaning. God created you to have a purpose in life, and what can a movie like that do for you? And anyway, while they were showing this trailer, of course they showed like different clips of it, and a lady behind me was screaming and like already getting afraid. And it's like, okay, I don't even have to go to the movies to see a horror film in order to see that, get that horror film experience. Like, I don't like to go to horror movies because I feel a lot of them are satanic, and you know, I don't see a point to them. You know, if they want to see a horror film, they should show some of the stuff that really goes on in the real world. None of those horror films are realistic. You know, they're all just these, come from the imaginations of men. Like, what would be the most creepy thing to ever happen? Let's show somebody being killed, and every little detail, and like HD all close up, and they just try to make your worst nightmares happen in front of you. It's just a serious, like someone injects you with a dose of fear. Like, why do we go to movies to just be afraid? What is the purpose of that? We are supposed to be filled with love and positive things. Why go and sit in a chair in a dark room and let someone else inject you with such negativity, with demonic images, with screams of horror? What does that do to you? Everything you watch and everything you see goes into your soul. It goes into your mind, it goes into your heart, and it goes into your being. Everything you put into you helps to develop who you are, who you become. I don't see the point in scary movies, so I don't go to them. But I went to see this movie about Denzel because he happens to be an actor I like. I like films that he's done in the past, even though I think that the films he have done, to me, it's declined because his characters keep getting more, like, always playing these shady characters now. He used to play, like, heroic characters, which I could relate to, but I don't like so much the shadiness. But in this film he just did, he was a little shady, but he was a good person. In the end, you get to see that. So that's what's kind of happened after. It was a good movie, I think. It exposed, well, the CIA is corrupt anyway, but it helped expose that, okay, the CIA is corrupt, and they will do anything to cover up, you know, the fact that they're corrupt. They don't want the public to know. It would be bad for the image. And it just helped. I think that is a positive movie to show in this day and age, because I think the Lord is starting to reveal the whole system that we live in. This whole world is corrupt. From the top of from the head all the way to the bottom. Like, this world we live in is all about social class. It's all about how much money you have, and it's all about how much power you have. So at the very top, where the people that have the most money and are in the most power, they're all corrupt, and they're all greedy, and they're all accepting bribes. They can care less about what's right and what's wrong. They can care less about justice. All they care about is the money that's in their pockets and how they control other people. And that's the head that this whole world is kind of built on right now. And if the head is messed up, the whole body is going to be messed up. Whatever flows on down is going to be messed up. So if that's the top of the pyramid, the second level is going to be messed up, the third, the fourth, the fifth, all the way down. And people like me, people like you probably, all the way at the bottom of the pyramid, we're wondering, why is this world so messed up? Why is it that the police are killing innocent people, that police can actually break into your house and without a warrant and shoot you and kill you, and it doesn't matter if you have a gun or not? That's what they did in my neighborhood where I live. I live in the Wakefield area of the Bronx, and it was this 18-year-old boy that the police just broke into his house and shot him dead. Yes, he was a supposed drug dealer. He had a bag of weed on him First of all, I want to take this time to say something about marijuana. Marijuana is not as deadly as cigarettes, which is legal. It's not as deadly as alcohol, which is legal. And it's not as deadly as a lot of the pharmaceutical drugs that they sell to you, which is also legal. But the thing that is illegal is marijuana, which can't even kill you. You cannot overdose on marijuana. The most you could do is get really high, and you always come right back down. I don't smoke weed anymore. I used to. I'm confessing I had nothing to hide. You know, the reason I stopped smoking weed is because I'm not sure how the Lord feels about it. And you know, I haven't seen that scripture that really makes my gut kind of wrench when I think about marijuana. And I think about weed, and I think about the effects it has. I you know, educate myself on the computer and look up what effects it has on you and what effects it doesn't have on you. And for the most part, the government and all those, you know, anti-drug people, they lie about marijuana, and they say it does all these other things that it doesn't. And when they had the chance, when they were doing the war on drugs and they were making marijuana illegal, they spread a lot of lies and rumors about marijuana so that the people would vote against it. And then back then it was extremely racist too, and they would say things like, oh, marijuana makes black people think they're all that and stuff. I'm serious, you could look that up on the internet, it's not a lie. But so I find it really amazing that, I have to connect it, whatever I was talking about before. Anyway, marijuana's not that bad. And I was talking about, please forgive me, I hope I can edit this part out. Anyway, I forgot. So marijuana's not that bad. But the world that we live in, it portrays it as it's so bad. Okay, so yeah, the cops, they killed this kid because he had a bag of weed on him. And he went to his house, he locked the door, they followed, they tried to break down the door. They had the guns out already. They thought he had a gun on him before he went into the house, because while they were watching him on the corner, another one of the cops said, hey, I saw the kid adjust his pants, because they were like spying on him. They said, I saw the kid adjust his pants, and I think he has a gun on him. First of all, if you think someone has a gun on him, a young black boy living in the hood, you think he has a gun on him because you saw him adjust his pants? Do you see the way that these young boys wear their pants? They're all the way down to past their butts. Of course they're going to adjust their pants. They have no choice. If they don't, they're going to fall off. That's another thing I like to say. Young people out there, please stop wearing your clothes improperly, because it's not very cute when I'm on the subway and I see some boy get up and you see like the crack of his butt through his boxers because his jeans aren't pulled all the way up. That's not cool. Actually, in prison, they would really mess you up for something like that. Like I heard that's where that came from. Like that whole prison system, and some wear their pants down and whatever. It's not cool, it's not cute, it's not gangster. Don't follow everything just because the world tells you to. It's not cool at all. And if you expect to get a girl of any value, don't wear your pants, dress properly. Come on, why would you want to show your butt to people? Is that more comfortable? It can't be, because you keep pulling them up. You're just doing it because everybody else is doing it. And please don't, I mean, everybody is just, it seems like this whole world is just going crazy. It seems like every day the world just gets worse and worse. The things that they put on the radio, the things that they show on television. I'm a woman of God. I believe everything that this word says. This is my Bible. I believe everything it says. I believe that God created the heavens and the earth. He created me. He created you. He created the space we live in. He created all things. There's nothing going on that God does not know about. And for people to sit here and call themselves Christians, and to turn on the radio and you listen to a song by some popular artist called No Church in the Wild, and the chorus is saying, oh, what's a God to a non-believer? That atheistic message, letting that being spread to your mind and you singing along with it, how could you be a believer of Christ and sing along to that and feel just fine? Okay, being a believer of Christ is not just about what you say. It's about what you do. It's about how you act. It's about how you treat people. It's about what you decide to let into your mind and into your heart and into your body and soul. It's about what you decide to interact with, what you decide to not interact with. And the Bible tells us to be separate from the world. You know, I'm telling you, you cannot be a Christian and listen to this music that does not glorify God. Listen to this music that puts negativity into your body. Watch these television shows that is nothing. It's about nothing but violence and anger and people fighting each other. That's all these stupid reality shows are about. They're not real at all. They're lying to you. These reality shows are not real. People aren't out there just fighting each other every day. And the sad thing is, some people think they are real, so they do go out there and they do fight each other. But that's the problem, because it's the country that we live in, the world we live in, wants us to be against each other, because if we weren't, we would be unified and we would be against them, because they're the ones making our lives heck. They're the ones who are corrupt and who are making all the other authorities, as you go down the ladder, also corrupt. It's like the police in this neighborhood. They're not all the way at the top with the, you know, Illuminati and the Bilderberg Group and the Trilateral Commission and the Council of Foreign Relations. They're not all the way up there with those people who make big decisions, have all the big money, control the banks, took money from everybody else. There was no such thing as there was no recession. There's no mystery to it. They took the money. They took money from the poor. That's all that happened. The money didn't disappear. It didn't go anywhere. It went into their pockets. They have the money. That is exactly what happened. And the fact is, we can't do anything about it. All we can do is sit here and just accept it. I mean, but the least we could do is at least admit it to ourselves and at least tell other people, talk about it with your friends, and then maybe change could come. But if we're just sitting here allowing them to brainwash us, then nothing's going to change. If we sit here and look at the world from the perspective they give us, which is the stupid television, then of course we're not going to do anything about it. If we just, oh, well, we're just so satisfied with the iPod 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and the iPhone this and that, and it's so stupid. Everything, it's so stupid. I didn't say you're stupid. Everything you buy